There have been a lot of changes in farming in our areas, both agronomically and production practices, but also socially and economically, and all those, of course, are tied together. Some of the biggest changes that we see are the changes from tillage as the way to control weeds to the use of more chemicals in our crop production systems. And it's a real question in a lot of people's minds, which is the better way to produce crops, which is more environmentally friendly.
In a conventional till system, you're going out there after the crop is harvested and you're turning the soil black. You're turning the old crop residue under to let it decay under the ground. No-till is basically just the opposite of conventional till. After a crop is harvested, you leave that stubble out there, and then we'll come in the next spring and we'll plant right into that old crop residue. It allows us to, keep maybe even 3 to 4 tillage passes out of the field. So we're not running our tractors for that. We're able to stay out of the fields. And over the winter, we're able to conserve all the moisture from snowfall and any rains that we get and hold it in our soils.
Soil is a living thing, and it lives by having things growing on it all the time. Leaving it bare to collect moisture, which was what was necessary when we plowed the soil, is not sustainable at all. Careful use of chemicals allows us to leave those crop residues on top of the soil. We don't lose the soil to water erosion when we get torrential rains. We don't lose the soil to heavy winds. We're doing everything we can to keep the soil where it needs to be.
We really don't plant any crop more than 2 years in a row, and we're really trying to get to the point where we rotate a crop every year in that field. But with the way the weeds adjust to your rotations, we've found that the rotation that we use is very beneficial.
A lot of times we'll get a weed control carryover from one crop to the next, so in many cases our wheat needs no herbicide or very little.
There's a lot of controversy whether we should be using herbicides, and I don't have all the answers, and I'm a little bit concerned about whether that's a good idea, but I do know that herbicides they've helped us a lot in terms of preserving the quality of our soil. The less we work and the less we turn it, the more organic matter we're able to preserve. I can see a difference in my lifetime in the number of earthworms, for example, that we see living in our soils. I mean, growing up, I didn't know earthworms could live in the farm ground. You always went to the riverbanks or something to find earthworms, but now we find them in our soils on the farm.
Beautiful large heads. Varieties, or one of the characteristics Hatcher has this year seems to be pretty tolerant to stripe rust, and so that's very.
Chemicals are a tool that's in our toolbox that can be used for specific reasons and specific purposes. I think that our production systems work a lot better when we stay in touch with our natural systems as well.
To be a sustainable farm, you have to be economically sustainable. You have to make a profit or you can't operate the next year. But looking further down the road, you have to be sustainable in how you operate your farm. You have to keep the soil healthy, or you won't be able to grow crops. If we don't take care of our land, it won't take care of us. The health of our land is fundamentally important to the survival of our farms.